Right then, all back down here on White Springs, me and Ethan again. We say we've been really lucky, to be honest. We've had 3 weeks of sort of time where we can actually go fishing together, as you've known on other blogs. It just hasn't happened, it's been ones and twos, but really chuffed. Obviously, after we've done alright, to be honest. I had 2, then Ethan had 4, so we're back down. Weather's looking pretty good, to be honest. Do you reckon?
Very nice. The weather's looking. We've got a nice bit of rain coming in, but compared to last time's conditions, it's nice to have a bit of sun in your back. Well, I say sun, it's like cloud cover, breaks in the sun. Absolutely solid last time. Like I said, I couldn't complain, 4 fish, so I'm just happy to be back down, really. So we've been in the swim, the point, we've doubled up. Just in here for 24 hours, bit of a social, bit of a catch up with John and all. A few ideas, you know, back and forth, better than texting, face-to-face chats and stuff like that. So yeah, quick 24 hours and see what happens. Hopefully nick 1 or 2 fish and try and stay a bit drier this time as well, hopefully.
Yeah, big style. Well, so that's it. So before we left last time, I did put a little bit of trickling of bait in here, not loads, but I say it's just nice to try and get some bait into an area. We are going to be down here a few more times, obviously before Syndicate's open and before Ethan goes off to in search of the big plate again, no doubt.
Definitely.
So yeah, what we'll do is go through a bit more rigs and some sort of something different. We're going to probably go through some bite indication and how we set up our rods for fishing different things, because we're fishing to snags and in open water. So how we set our bobbins and how we sunk our lines, etc. So we'll go into that as well, just a different element of filming. So until later, catch you later. There we are, First Blood, Innovate, Bananarama, pop-up, top of the Evolution carp tackle, maggot ball, cluster, very simple, pop-up rig, braided pop-up rig, First Blood. Let's get her weighed up and to get some pictures. Team catch and release. There we are, 15 pound of January gold. Again, not massive, but really big fighting fish, really strong fighting. I like to sometimes get him in nice and quick, but this one was having none of it. Took me all around the place. Really dead chuff for this one. First one, yet again, back on the spot that Ethan managed to guide me back onto. But we're all clipped up now and ready to get back on the fish. Team catch and release, happy days. Cool? Right then, so we're going to go through a bit of bite indication. Just how I do things is slightly sort of, it's not different, it's in all the magazines, but generally not massively covered in blogs or anything at all on how people fish, really, because they're too busy doing rigs and stuff. 2 different sort of major setups on how I've got my indicators set up. These 2 rods are fishing more out into open water, so what I've got is quite a low drop, quite a big drop on the bobbins. Set quite sensitive, because I said they're fishing in open water, so there's not really much knocking about. And I say there's literally just enough so the weight of the bobbin, the way that it's actually angled, means that say any drop backs will cause it to pivot. Any pickups obviously will carry on and pick it up forward. And what I've actually got is sort of plastic ears, plastic bodies and cords. So it's a really light, ultra sensitive setup for fishing at this sort of range. Obviously if I was casting to the horizon, then I'd switch over to my heavier bobbin sets, because obviously there's a lot more line out there to sort of pick up the indication on. So yeah, again, it comes up nice and easy and they're off and they're gone. Really sensitive setup. Said the old school Delkins, ever faithful, love them to pieces. Set nice and sensitive, because I said the wind at the moment's down. If the wind picked up, then I obviously knock the sensitivity down. But it just means that any vibration, any touch, any tickles outside over there, I'm going to get a pickup. And I said semi-tight lines. Haven't back-leaded because there's no need here, because I said this line is sunk quite nicely off the tip. But what I do is, I said John the fireman gave me this is his insight into sort of things as well. Cast out, sink the line, peel off sort of 2-3 foot, so I know now that that downfall leader has dropped nice and heavy and I got a nice sunken area. I'll then crank up the line until I just see it starting to pick out the surface film of the water underneath the rod tip, clip on the bobbin, and as you can see, both those rods, nice angle, anything that touches that line you're going to get a pickup on. The left hand rod set really differently I actually cast over to a snag down my left hand side. Yet again, only sort of 30-yard chuck, it's nothing hard at all, and I can actually go around and handball some bait in. But because I'm fishing to a snag that's directly, the bait's actually directly behind the snag, so any pickups is going to go forward and into the snag. I've actually fished it tight lines, really sensitive again, but actually locked up bowstring tight. So that ain't going to go anywhere, that reel there, the line. But what I have done is I've built in this sort of 2-inch drop. That 2-inch drop's enough to register the drop back if they do come out the snags and towards me, but obviously then pick straight up. But yet again, as I don't even see off the rod tip, really tight to the lead. But what I have done then is obviously fed that 2 inches of line off, 2-3 inches of line, so I know that the leader's down. So I've got a good clear zone, because as I said, fish can come in from either at any angle, they're not going to pick up on a line. But for safety aspect, if I get the thing in, and I said obviously what I'll do is I will lock the rod butt down before I finish. So that's bite indication of how I got them set up. Really ultralight bobbins because I'm close in and I want every movement to register. Delkim set nice and sensitive, ready to pick up anything. And then say the difference between say that there, where it's going to peel line because it's in middle water, I want it to really register nicely. And then obviously the tight line setup. So that's bite indication.
Okay then folks, so just a quick afternoon update. The weather's looking absolutely bang on now. We did have a brief shower, so me and John had to quickly huddle away in the bivvy. Quick cup of tea. I've got my 3 rods positioned. I've got 2 rods out in open water. And basically I've just scattered probably about 50 to 60 boilies just over the top. I got the hinge diff rigs back out on those 2 after the success of the last trip. But I don't know if you can see it, John's just panning around now. I've got a rod tucked away in that lovely little margin over there as well. It may produce, it may not, but like I said, it's looking very carpy. And with this sun coming in, that water's going to warm up a little bit quicker as well out in the main body of the lake. And again, that's just over a light scattering of boilies as well. So I'm back on the grey squirrel pop-ups again, on the white pop-ups. I will try a pink as well because I love those pinks, and that's, like I said, that's the ones I'm going to be using down linear because can't get the big plated off my mind. I'm having her this year. Mark my words, she is mine this year. Through blood, sweat and tears, she will be going in my landing net, let me tell you. But back to the job in hand. Another cup of tea, I think. But just enjoy this late afternoon sun, which is quite nice actually, to be honest with you. Bit of sun in your back never hurt anybody. So get a kettle on, John boy.
Half an hour ago, rod's gone off again. That rig that I showed you last night in bird, like I'll go through it properly later. But it's a winter 20, happy days. 21 pound on the nose, dead chuffed after I've had a few sort of the smaller stockies. Okay, it's only 21 pound, but by God, you'll take all of them in winter. Fish tight for the snag, I'll show you the spot. But let's get her out and have a look. There she is. She might be a little bit angry because she just seemed to come straight in. There we are, we'll get her up in a second. There we are, 21 pound January, beautiful fish. Really dark colours, really showing the winter colours here. Dead chuffed, it says it's only 30 yards away from the swim. The maggot ball topped innovate pop up. The simplest rig, Martin Pick, big cheers for you mate, you said give it a whirl. And I love it, simple breeder rig, you can't go wrong. Cast twice in the night, big thanks to Ethan as well, who wandered around and shone the light on the spot for me. But yeah, just dead chuff. We're going to get some pictures, get her back, get the rig back out, and get on with some fishing. Team catch and release. As you can see, 2 fish in the night, really dead chuff. One first thing this morning, 21 pound. Just going to go very quickly through the rig. It's It's going to be quick because there's not a lot to it. It's the simplest rig that I've used in a very long time, but it's doing the damage. Basically, standard braided rig, fish pop-up style, balanced nicely with a BB split shot, pop-up, a bit of maggot, of the old maggot ball system on top, so it makes it visually really different to the fish, and also really hard to eject because once it goes in there's no sort of spinning set. It's going to be joggling around in the mouth loads. Fish that's sort of an inch off the bottom on the split shot, and then the hair just above, so when they come down it's a whole mouthful, and so both of the hook holds being really far back. The anti-snag hook, wireless anti-snag hook, and the braid fished reasonably short because I'm on a light lead, because I'm casting underneath the snag bush. The snag actually isn't that bad underneath the water. It's more of a sort of surface snag. Still locked up like I showed you on the indication video, and I said both times the tips have been locked round, and I've literally just picked it up and walked 2 paces backwards and it's just come straight out the snag without any problems. Nothing's got caught there, and they've come clean out and into the open water. With that, as I said, all I've done then, even though it's a Bananarama pop-up, the actual bait I've been feeding is the Cream Crunch, the bait that I'm on this year, Innovate Cream Crunch. And I said all I've done then, stick on, and then just literally back looped the hook. Do that quickly. And nicked it into the bag. So it might look really unorthodox, really untidy, but because it's a pop-up, weighted, as soon as that bag melts, the pop-up's going to cock up and hold up onto the split shot. Dead simple, down 4 leader, 2 ounce lead, cast 30 yards, and said it's done the damage. Really dead chuffed. You know, you don't need to sort of blow your mind with hard, complicated rigs. I wanted something that was going to be supple because of any debris that's on the floor, but obviously really sort of low key, and that's done the job for me. Really dead chuffed. Filming in the bivvy because it started to piddle down again, unfortunately. But yeah, another hour and a half. Chill, cup of coffee with Big Heath before he goes home. Let's see what happens. Team catch and release.
Well, here he is. We've just seen how good it looks for a bite. The middle rod is absolutely peeled away. Nice fish, John.
Give it a hell of a run. Stripping line. Fish coming towards me quite nicely.
Got 2 hours out the blue, wasn't it?
Ridiculous to say. We were literally just saying that the weather changed and everything, and I'm still confident. But yeah, happy days. Let's try and come on, happy days. Let's get it weighed up, get it on the mat, team catch and release. Yes!
It's a nice one.
There we are, 70 pound 2, fish number 3, long, lean, common. Might go in a minute now, really angry. Let's get it down. But yeah, absolutely screaming run, tore off the spot. Hinge stiff rig, S2T pop up this time, switched up a little bit. Over the Cream Crunch baits. Absolutely screaming, stonking run, dead chuff. We were just saying, as I said on the previous video just then, absolutely expecting a run, to be honest. Felt confident of it. Changed spot. It's where I've seen a sort of fish activity, small stuff, so I thought something might be hanging around. But yeah, what an absolute minter. We'll get some more film, get some more stills. But yeah, 17 pound 2 ounces. What a beaut. Long, lean, fighting machine. Team catch and release. There we are, fish number 3, really angry, ready to get back into the lake. Team catch release, I say, fantastic session. You know, just happy days. I say we're doing really, really well here. Pray for a big good on the next one. Let's get her out. There she goes. Absolute team catch release. Right then, cars are all packed, rods are in, scenes of devastation around, the mud is horrific, but that's winter carping. And it looks now like the sun's up just as the bivvies went away soaking wet, fantastic. But we've all got family things to do, but a top session, Heath, for me really.
Must agree, yeah, I played gilly this trip. I always tend to play gilly actually when I come fishing with you. I ain't coming again, I don't think. But no, in all seriousness, John, great session on the fish, worked to swim well, and even though despite the rain, the mud, we've like I said, we're back out again, more fish view. We're just on a roll at the moment. I don't know, something must be in the air in this in Wales at the moment. We can't seem to stop catching fish, but hopefully we're out again next week, so fingers crossed, a bit more action for me this time. John can play gilly for me this time perhaps, but no, it's looking good. We've got back out next week, so stay tuned, and we'll bring some more coverage next week as well.
There we are, fantastic. Until later, we'll do it. We haven't done it for a long time. Still a thumbs up. Team catch release.